Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, I had a vasectomy because I didn't want kids. But I came home and they were still there. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Iliad from Bitewing Games. In Iliad from Bitewing Games, one of you will take on the role of Hector, who is blue, or Achilles, who is red, in this tile-laying, tile manipulation, and scoring game. Now you're going to lay down a cloth 6x6 grid game board in the center of the area there. You're going to then shuffle a number of these god tiles. There's these god tiles in 5 different colors. They have different scoring values on them. You're also going to have some negative scoring tiles, as well as some super positive scoring tiles, and also a couple of ring tiles. You're going to put them all in a bag. You're going to pull out 5 of these tiles. They all must be positive. If you get a negative, you put it back, and you're going to lay them off to the side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lay down these tiles next to each grid square. So it's going to go all the way around. You're going to have grid squares all the way around the border with these scoring tiles on them. That should be all of them. Now, what's going to happen in the game is you're going to start, both Achilles and Hector will have their own tiles. You are going to shuffle them, randomly draw 2 tiles, and put them on your colors in the center of the board. If you draw the exact same value, you have to redraw one of them, putting the other one back and shuffling it in. So what you're doing on your turn is you are essentially placing your tiles on your color that is adjacent to another tile that's on the board. But each value of the tile is going to do different things during the game. Now, if you lay down a 1 somewhere on the board, you can actually reposition one of your opponent's tiles to another location, provided it still meets the adjacency rules. If you lay down the 2, you can reposition one of your own tiles to any other place on the board, provided it meets those adjacency rules. If you lay down a 3, you can swap any success token that you have scored in the game with any one of the 5 available off to the side. If you lay down a 4, you can actually flip it upside down and flip a neighboring tile, which belongs to your enemy, upside down as well. So these are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. You also have a 5 tile, which does nothing, but it gives you 5 strength there. You also have the Dolos tile, and the Dolos tile has a crosshairs on them. Whenever you lay the Dolos tile down, it will mimic the tiles adjacent to it in an orthogonal manner for scoring purposes. Now, if ever you complete a row or a column, you're going to add up all of the numbers from both sides. And whoever has the greater number, they will get to choose which scoring tile they will take, and then the other player will take the other scoring tile. So all things being equal, the winner will want to take the higher valued scoring tile. Now, if there's a tie and both sides have the exact same scoring value, whoever turn it is gets to pick which tile they want, and then the opponent gets the other tile. So players are going back and forth. They are placing tiles. They are manipulating their own and their other players' tiles on the board. They are swapping out their score tiles with the ones on the side. They are placing their tiles face down as well as their neighbors' tiles face down, and they are using those Dolos crosshairs in order to copy the tiles next to them. Now, the game ends when all of the tiles have been placed. As soon as that happens, you're going to go ahead and start counting up all of the score tiles that you have. You're going to look, of course, at the face values, but you're also going to be looking at the sets you've collected. Do you have at least one of each of all of the gods' tiles, or how many sets of each of the gods' tiles do you have? Now, if you have multiple scoring tiles of the same god, you only will count the highest valued one you have for scoring purposes. Now, if at any time you have one of all of the 5 gods, you win immediately. Or if you have 4 of the 5 gods and the 2 ring tokens, then you win immediately. Otherwise, you're going to go ahead and go to the end of the game, and you're going to add up all of your scoring tiles. If you have multiples from the same god, you only count the highest value one, and whoever has the highest score wins. Iliad. We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review. All right, so Iliad is a tile-laying game and a tile manipulation game. It is from Rainer Knizia, whom Shut Up and Sit Down tells us is a being of pure mathematics. Now, I'm not a huge Rainer Knizia fan. I don't have anything against him, but typically I'm not a fan of real mathy games. And this game was fun. I enjoyed it. But to me, it gets to a point where it's just a little too mathy. And when games get too mathy, they stop being fun. Now, I've seen a lot of people really do enjoy this game, and I totally get it. I totally see it. But for me, like I say, I did enjoy it, but it gets to that point where if it's too mathy, I kind of check out, and then it's just a numbers game. And if you can see the numbers well ahead of the end of the game, it stops being a very fun and competitive game. This is not a highly thematic game, right? It's got the whole Trojan War theme kind of on there, but you could just as easily play the same game with any other theme, and it would have worked fine. So again, I'm somebody that likes big, strong themes in games, and this doesn't really have that. What I'm getting at here is if you do like kind of these math crunchy games like that, you'll get a kick out of this. And it's not a long game, and it's not a particularly difficult game to learn and to play, so I think you'll get a kick out of it. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. And I'm going to go ahead, for me, on the Cody scale, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, but I appreciate that some people will like this game a lot more than I did. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we'd ask you to please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, on X. We do love to hear back from you. We'd ask you to please subscribe to this channel and leave a thumb here, and leave a thumb to us on Board Game Geek, and subscribe to all the good social media stuff as well. If you really do like the channel, I'd ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history and military history and fun things like that. And if you really do enjoy what you see here on The Discriminating Gamer, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. You know, ladies and gentlemen, 70% of the Earth is covered in water. And that water is not carbonated. So it's true. The Earth is flat. Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. God knows that I love to fight.
Japanese reserve must go to the Southwest Pacific Theater, down to Papua New Guinea.
Ooh, good shot.